Two, one.
Alright guys, this is John Edward Randall. This is John Edward Randall. Today is May 20th, 2017. It is a Saturday. Time right now is 12:24 Eastern Time. So I want to go through how many times I called the Lafayette Police Department complaining about somebody in the hallway or some stupid persona, or basically I'm being raped in my apartment, and I'm a college student and I don't have a criminal background or a criminal record. So, you know, that behavior is not appropriate just because the rest of the people in the building are fucking sexual offenders. Okay? The rest of the people in the building are fucking criminals with or felons or something. So anyways, let's go through this list, or just because they have military application or technology or whatever. Okay? Let's go through this list. How many times I called and how many times I could have shot the person in the head or executed him on the spot, but I chose not to. Ready? Let's go. All right. So this is actually 3 hours away in California, which means it's 3 hours short of the actual time, which is 3 hours later in Eastern time. Okay, because this is Google's call history. All right. So we're gonna have to update the time for Eastern time. But anyway, this is Pacific time. 9:10 a.m. on 5/20/17. You can clearly see it for yourself. I called the Lafayette Police Department. That's your number right there. 12:18 a.m. on 5/20/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining that I had been raped. The first one, 9:10 a.m. on 5/20/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining I had been raped or tasered or physically assaulted or I was being harassed. 4:46 p.m. on 5/19/17 Pacific time. I called the Lafayette Police Department and complained that I was being raped again from some woman across the hall, and they still wouldn't do anything about it. All right, 4:22 p.m. on 5/19/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 4:20 p.m. on 5/19/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 8:55 p.m. 5/16/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. All these are for being raped. 5:15/17 at 2:05 p.m. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 1:51 p.m. on 5/14/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining that I had been raped. Same thing. Let's go to the next page. This next page? Yeah. 11:04 a.m. on 5/14/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining I was being tasered or raped from some dumbass in the hallway stating stupid fucking bullshit out loud. 6:53 p.m. on 5/11/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining that I was being tasered or raped with some type of military application or some type of torture device. 6:29 a.m. on 5/9/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. This is in the past 11 days. 5:43 a.m. on 5/9/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 12:51 a.m. on 5/9/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 1:37 p.m. on 5/8/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 1:31 p.m. on 5/8/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department again for being raped again and injected again and physically assaulted and harassed inside of this building or inside of the United States of America. It doesn't matter which police department I called. All right. 3:14 a.m. on 5/8/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 8:42 p.m. on 5/7/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 5:09 p.m. on 5/7/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 2:40 p.m. on 5/7/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. Again, all of these things, all these times are for being raped, harassed, physically assaulted, sexually abused, injected without my consent, poisoned. Basically being terrorized without having an ample way to use self-defense. 8:36 p.m. on 5/6/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 11:50 a.m. on 5/6/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department. 10 o'clock a.m. on 5/6/17. I called the Lafayette Police Department again. It's 13 days ago. 9:54 a.m. on 5/6/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department again for being injected, poisoned, lasered, tasered, sexually assaulted, abused, sodomized, raped within this apartment. 9:16 a.m. on 5/6/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department again, same fucking thing. Let's go to the next page. 11:22 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. 11:21 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. 11:21 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. 11:20 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department again for being raped, poisoned, injected, some type of torture device, and they refused to tell the Lafayette Police Department what it is, and they're doing it to me inside my apartment, and that's not fair. That's not fair when I'm not a criminal. They're obviously trying to kill me or get me to commit suicide, and they basically fucked up. They're going to get executed. They're getting capital punishment for doing that. 8:16 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. 6:15 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. This is 2 weeks ago. Let's go to the next page. Complaining, and I was being appropriate about it. 1:59 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department, complaining again. 1:56 p.m. on 5/5/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. Let's keep scrolling down the list. I might have lied about that last one. I might have been telling them to secure the premises or the perimeter. This guy's going to get caught. 3:02 a.m. on 5/4/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department, probably complaining again. And it's basically because I was being harassed, sexually abused, assaulted, raped, sodomized, poisoned, okay? Physically tortured without my consent, okay? Basically, there ain't no contract for that. 4:31 p.m. on 5/3/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department again. Okay, let's keep going. Looks like it might cut off or taper down near the beginning of the month because I don't have phone service. 2:42 a.m. on 5/2/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. Can you see a trend here? I'm usually up at night, but I'm still being manipulated, or like, that's what I said. I said my genitals were being manipulated by some fucking freak outside. Okay? I don't fucking care if you rape me. Stop touching me. Okay? Looks like I called the Elmhurst Police Department maybe a couple times. All right, let's keep going. 2:29 p.m. on 4/25/17, I called my foster family's home or my adoptive family's home to complain about being raped, sodomized, tortured, injected, poisoned within my apartment. Looks like I called the CIA as well. 5:36 p.m. on 4/24/17, looks like I called the Elmhurst Police Department for the same thing. 5:35 p.m. on 4/24/17, I called the Marion, Indiana Police Department, or it looks like I did, to complain about the same behavior from these tenants or from people in Lafayette, Indiana. 5:28 p.m. on 4/24/17, I called my adoptive family or foster family to complain about the same thing because I think my mom has something to do with it because I punched her in the face because she deserved it. 7:49 p.m. on 4/16/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department complaining about the same thing. 7:39 p.m. on 4/16/17, called the Lafayette Police Department complaining about the same thing. And the last one, I might have lied about that, but it was basically I wouldn't be calling them unless that happened. 3:34 a.m. on 4/16/17, I called the Lafayette Police Department. Next page. Next gauge. Okay. Looks like, okay. 4:07 p.m. on 4/15/17, I called Sarah Watson to complain about the same type of torture because I think she raped me. 4:04 p.m. on 4/15/17, I called Sarah Watson again to complain about the same thing. 3:55 p.m. on 4/15/17, I called Sarah Watson again to complain about the same thing. 3:46 p.m. on 4/15/17, I called my adoptive or foster family's house to complain about the same thing. 3:46 p.m. on 4/15/17, Lafayette Police Department.